Hey guys, I'm back. It's day 3, and today we're going to be talking about your vibe. Again, we're going to be talking about vibrational energy because I just feel like it's the most important thing, is understanding how your energetic output influences your world. So if we were to really come into this place where we have this understanding and we were able to create from that place, if you were really to wake up every morning and make this intention, create this intention, it's not always going to be perfect. You know, our life is not always going to be perfect. There's going to be things that come at us, that test us, and in every single thing that comes to us, there is lessons that we are able to take so that we can become more aware, so we can become more reflective. If you have a situation where one day you handle things totally cool and totally calm and peaceful, awesome for you. If the next day you wake up and it doesn't look as good as it did the day before, it's okay. So the thing that I really want to address today is, how do we raise that vibration? How do we keep our vibe in a good place? And what are the things that we do that lower our vibe? Okay, that's really important. And the main base core of all of this is your focus. So we're going to talk about focus today and what you're focused on. What are you focused on? Are you focused on the election? A lot of people are focused on the election. Are you focused on what everybody doesn't like about the election? Are you focused on, all of these things, all of these dramas that are playing out in reference to this election? Pay attention to what you're focused on. It's okay to be passionate about someone. It's okay to be passionate about something, but just make sure that your energetic output is actually creating the difference that you want to create. It's actually focused on what you want to create. So if you're feeling, not justified, if you're feeling like you don't have a voice in this election, if you're feeling like you don't have a voice in the world, the law of attraction is going to give you more reasons to feel that way. So that's not how you want to feel. So as far as, I know the election was a big one for me to just bite off because I really don't pay attention to any of it. And I really, at this point, don't even want to get into that as far as, where I stand on things, because I don't think that it's a healthy thing for us to constantly look at things that we don't like and just to activate more of that. So where is your focus? Where are you creating from your vibrational plane? So some of the things that I've noticed that lower people's vibes or lower my vibe are things like children's messy rooms. That used to lower my vibe pretty good. I've recently found ways to deal with that, and I have a parenting book that's going to address all of this really soon that's coming out. It's in its final editing stages. There's things, like a messy house, or, I always say traffic, because traffic is a big thing for people. Or, is there things happening in your relationships that don't feel good to you? All of these things have the potential of lowering your vibe. The news, if you're watching the news, that is a big vibe lowerer, really huge to stop watching the news, because it's going to show you all the things that are going wrong in the world, and it's going to actually instill a core base of fear. That's what the news does. So you might want to just turn the news off. And people say to me all the time, well, I have to know what's going on. And first of all, if you're on Facebook, your Facebook reel is the news. I wish people would not post the negative news on Facebook. But again, I don't pay attention to it. I just scroll through because I don't have to. Remember the bad neighborhood. I don't have to get out of my car and go, oh my goodness, this is such a bad neighborhood. I can just cruise out. So what are you focused on? Are you focused on sad stories? Are you focused on sickness? Are you focused on pain in your body? What are you focused on? Because those things are what are being activated in your field. So those are the things that could lower your vibe. How do we, bring our vibration higher? How do we come into a thing called alignment? So what alignment is when you are in the zone, when you are feeling at your absolute best, when you are feeling love, when you are feeling joy, when you are feeling passion, when you are in a project and time just goes and you don't even realize it, that is when you are in alignment. So what alignment means, what does alignment mean? Of course, it means like you're tuned in. You're aligned with who you really are. You're aligned with your soul's purpose. You're aligned with your reason for being here. Nothing feels, and sometimes that could just be having fun, right? I could be totally in alignment when I'm having fun and when I'm with my family and when I'm feeling love, I'm in total alignment. When all of my kids are together and things are feeling really great, that's alignment for me. But that's part of my soul's purpose, was to create this beautiful, loving, peaceful family where we all want to be together. So that's part of my soul's purpose as well. So what is it? And paying attention to the things that bring you to that place of alignment, that bring you to that place of focus where you're feeling so good. So maybe you don't have this in your life. Maybe you don't feel this in your life. And this is going to be your time to start paying attention to it, to start looking for it. What are the things that really light me up? This lights me up. Talking about this, as you can tell, really lights me up. And that's when I knew I was on to my soul's purpose. Because when I started talking about this and realizing I could talk about this all day, and sometimes I do on the phone with my clients, I can go out and speak, and I can share this information in a way that I can be in conversations with people, and I could talk about this forever. So those are the things for you to really pay attention to. If you don't know what that is, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling stuck, I just got a message today from a beautiful woman who said she's been feeling stuck. If you're feeling those ways, it's okay. Just give yourself a break. Because one of the ways that we lower our vibe is by talking to ourselves, having this self-talk that is negative. That is a number one way to lower your vibe. And that is something that I hope through this 21-day journey that we can help you to do less of or just give up altogether. I used to beat myself up quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit. And now I no longer do it at all. Even when I make mistakes, I no longer go into this place of I should have known better. And it was easy for me to do that, especially in the beginning of my law of attraction journey, because I felt like I was getting to the point, especially 2 or 3 years in, where I should know better than to get in a bad neighborhood, right? To drive into a bad neighborhood. I should know better. But the reality is that even driving through the bad neighborhood, there are gifts and there are things that we're going to learn through going through times of fear. It's part of our expansion. There's things that we're going to learn when we go through times of depression. And there's things that we're going to learn through times when we're actually feeling stuck. We're going to learn so much that we come into a place of bouncing from those places into higher spaces. So they are necessary for our growth and development. So what do you do if you do feel stuck right now? Or what do you do if you feel like, I don't even know what this alignment stuff is she's talking about? Well, first of all, I'm going to do 2 videos today because I feel really passionate about this meditation thing and getting out a video that promotes, we're going to call it zero state awareness, because I don't want you to think that you can't meditate. So I'm going to do, my next video will be on zero state awareness, how to get into that place of calming your mind and of really coming into that inner being of who you really are. It's your truth. And what's going to end up happening is it's going to wake you up. You're going to start waking up to things that are happening around you. You're going to start reflecting more, and you're going to start going within and asking yourself, first of all, is this true for me? Is this belief system true for me? Do I really want to believe I'm stuck right now, or do I want to create something different? Okay, I want to create something different. Right before I did these videos, I was feeling, I don't want to say stuck, because I don't like the word stuck. I don't think any of us ever really get stuck. I think that we have times of lulls in our life where we actually need to integrate information, and we need to integrate times. We also need the lulls in our life to create desire, because that's what creates desire. So I felt a little bit of a lull going on. I have an okay client base. I'm happy with my client base, but I was feeling like there was something more. And I felt like that many times in my life, where I felt like, there's something more. I have more to offer people. And I have more to offer. There's gifts that I'm not sharing. I think that was my frustration, as I was feeling there's gifts I'm not sharing. And then what ended up happening over the course of just a few days was I had a Facebook connection with someone, and they inspired me to do these videos. And then I just thought, oh, what the hell? I'm going to do this. And I got to tell you, between the day that I started this, which was like Friday, that I actually put up the first video, to today, which is Monday, I feel like a completely different person. I feel excited, I feel passionate, and I feel ready to create again. So if you're feeling like you're stuck, it's okay. Give yourself a break. Create a mantra for yourself in your mind whenever you have these negative belief systems or these negative things about yourself, like I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or whatever those run-on sentences are, whatever those negative things are in your self-talk, just notice them and then create a mantra around them. So that's what I do. And I just say, no, I'm okay. I am okay. I'm okay with where I am right now. I'm okay right now. Everything is okay right now. And just start soothing yourself back into a more positive place. If you're in a place where you feel like you want to go somewhere else, or you feel like, there's this area of my life, whether it be finances, whether it be your career, whether it be your relationship, there's this area of my life that isn't exactly the way I want it to be. So what would it look like if it was what I want it to be? Because too many of us look in the other direction. We look at all the things that we don't like about the situation, and then we just produce more of it. So it's about turning your focus towards what you want. So if this situation was exactly the way I wanted it to be, what would it look like? And spend a little time thinking about that. Spend a little time visioning that, visualizing that, seeing it for what it is. Not forcing it, but allowing this thing to play out in your mind how you would really want it to go. And that will create more clarity for you. And then the next step would be to just relax about it. Often we are so these doing people. We have been so programmed that we have to be busy, that we have to schedule, that we have to be constantly doing something. This type of lifestyle, this type of believing in this type of universal law is about allowing. It's about relaxing and letting go and allowing the universe to bring you the next step, to bring you the breadcrumbs, I call it. Following the breadcrumbs towards where you want to go. So let's say you want to create a new career. Let's say you want to create something for people, okay? So I don't know what it is. I want to do something and I want to help, okay? So you kind of put that out into the universe and you say, show me the signs. Show me what is going to work for me. I just actually had a client do this, and she had the coolest synchronicities happen once she fully relaxed and let things go. She had all these things line up for her that have to do with what she's passionate about. So just allow yourself to go, all right, well, if I wasn't stuck, if I didn't feel stuck, what would I do today? What would I want to create today? What would I focus on? What would I really want to, whenever I feel like I want to go towards something, I start listening to videos on YouTube, to be totally honest with you. I can recommend a couple of things. I think a great place to start, especially if you're in the basic place, is The Secret. And there are things in The Secret that I feel like it's a great beginning. There's some things that are left out, but of course we're on this journey together, so I'm going to fill in those gaps for you. So The Secret is a great place to go. Sometimes I listen to The Secret if I'm feeling like I need to be reminded of this universal law, or I need to be reminded of the power that I have within. I will listen to The Secret. I also do a ton of reading. Personal development is huge for me. So every night before I go to sleep, I read. Sometimes I do during the day, but for the most part, I'm doing like everybody else during the day. Meditation is absolutely, without a doubt, something that I don't live without. I may skip a day here and there, but for the most part, it's a practice that I am really committed to. And I do about maybe 20 minutes a day, and then I do a guided one usually in the afternoon. I take a little nap during a guided meditation because I need to refuel before I see my family and create that next phase of my day. So it's about paying attention. It's about paying attention to how you feel, paying attention to what you're focused on, right? So what am I doing during the day? Am I focused on, sometimes Facebook is a big one for people that will make people feel bad because they're looking at people's happy lives, which is really all people project on Facebook is their happy lives. And that makes them feel bad. That will make people feel lonely. So pay attention to how Facebook is making you feel. If it's not making you feel good, steer away from it or hide the people. I try not to unfriend people. I don't like doing that unless they're really bad. But I hide people if I don't like their news feeds, if their news feeds are bothering me. So Facebook, the news, I would definitely get rid of the news. The election, I would just choose who you love. If there's no one that you love, then that's funny because I'm kind of in that stance right now. But, just do your best to not pay attention to the negativity of it, I think is probably where I would go with that. Meditate is a big part of us coming into this journey together, where you're going to understand and learn and know more about yourself than you ever have before. You're going to start being able to peel the layers of these belief systems that no longer serve you, questioning those belief systems. So what you're focused on is super important. How to higher your vibe, how to create more of a higher vibrational state or a state of alignment. So we said meditation, I'll say that again, zero state awareness, and that will be my next video. And then music. Music is huge for me. I love music. I will put Pandora on when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning, when I'm doing laundry. Yes, I do all these things. I'm housewife extraordinaire, I would call myself. I make muffins just about, every other day. I love to do these things, but I also know that when I'm in this state of allowing my mind to just go by itself, that I need things to keep me in an uplifted state. So music is huge. I like to listen to the laid back beach music on Pandora. Recently got into the Carly Simon station. I really like that. I love Carly Simon. But anything that uplifts you, anything that makes you feel better. Walks in nature is huge. That's why I go to the ocean. I've committed to going to the ocean at least 3 days a week because I live 15 minutes from it and it's ridiculous if I don't. So I exercise at the ocean, so I get my exercise in. I usually listen to YouTube while I'm doing my exercise. Really great Wayne Dyer, Neil Donald Walsh. Anybody on there, any kind of personal development stuff, I will listen to that to keep my mind in a good neighborhood. That's how I do it. And then, of course, we have meditation again. That's huge for raising your vibe. Listening to music, anything that really makes you feel uplifted, and, reading, just reminding yourself. I think we need reminders every single day. I think we need a way to remember who we really are, and we need things that will do that for us. So one book I would recommend is Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. That was one of the very first books I read on the law of attraction that really started this journey for me. Pam Grout has a great book out called E Squared, 9 Simple Experiments You Can Do to Prove the Law of Attraction Works. Really cool book. We manifested $10,000 with that book. Really awesome book. So those are the three things that I would recommend to raise your vibration. But really, this is your journey. This is about you. So whatever works for you, whatever music works for you, whatever makes you feel good is what's important. So do some little things throughout your day. I know that you guys are busy. I know that. Most of us have created lives that are absolutely insane, and we've scheduled out our kids and our families, and we're running from thing to thing. We're not sitting, we're not communicating, we're not having dinner together. And those are the things that if you want to create more of that in your life, those are the things that you would need to focus on. If you want to have those things, if you want to have good communication with your family, then it's about focusing on that. How can we do this? Instead of saying, limiting ourselves, let's open ourselves up and go, how can I do that? Instead of saying, oh, I can't do that. My belief recently, and I'm going to close with this because I'm already up to 20 minutes again. This is so hard to keep these short. My belief recently was that this is probably something like a foundational belief that I have every once in a while, is that I have to wait until my kids get older in order for me to really create this huge speaking business that I would love to have, just because I love speaking. Obviously, now I'm doing it from my house. But how could I do it, right? I could do it this way. I could affect people just from sitting in my home, because the reality is right now in my life, I love to be here for my family. I love to be here for my girls. And I know they are 13 almost on Friday and 15. And I know I have 2 older girls, so I know it's going to go by like that. So I want to have as much time with them as I possibly can. And the way I can do that is by doing these videos and getting my word out this way. This is fulfilling a need that I have. It's fulfilling my soul purpose. Oh, my kitty's in the garage. Sorry, hold on. So how can you do it? You know, how can you fulfill your passions? How can you fulfill your desires? Or if you're not there yet, you know, what are those desires? And start paying attention to what makes you feel good. So this is day 3. And if you have any questions, please email me at awakeningprosperity@gmail.com. Please subscribe to my channel, Golden Duffy, and share it with those that you think would be interested. I really want to start a revolution of people waking up, feeling better, creating peaceful, loving, joyful lives. And I want everyone to experience that. I guess that's part of my soul's purpose. So stay tuned for my next video on meditation. And peace out. Love you guys.